Welcome to the Real Estate Fight Club, a podcast for agents where you'll witness a battle of opinions about topics affecting your real estate business. Now, always in your corner, here are your hosts, Jen Murtland and Monica Weakley.
Why do 85% of real estate agents get out of the business in less than 3 years? Well, the main factor is that these agents don't realize that they own their own business. So my coach, Coach John Kitchens, has put together a free clarity report for us. This is whether you want to earn $100,000 this year or $1 million. This report will give you the clarity you need to thrive in your business and not be a statistic. Go to coachcodeclarity.com for your free clarity report outlining what your success looks like.
Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. What is up, Jen Murtland?
Yo, Monica, how you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Great. Hey, congratulations to you.
Well, thank you.
You want to tell the audience what you've won?
Sure. Let's see. A couple of weeks ago, I was voted in to the board of directors seat for EXP World Holdings, which is the parent company of EXP Realty. And this company is so amazing that they choose to have 2 agent representatives on their board of directors. I mean, this is a Fortune 700 company, like NASDAQ traded.
Monica. Are you now the czar of real estate?
Yes. I have become
Czarina.
Czarina, and you are czar adjacent.
Yes. That's so awesome. So what are your duties as a board member, as the agent, one of 2 agent board members?
I mean, we listen and advise where necessary. And I mean, our leadership team is so strong that, I'm not sure, that we're certainly not hand holding in any way. Plus I've only had 1 board meeting, so I'm learning as I go. Nice. When you talk about the value of proximity, and we all know that, who you surround yourself with matters. And so I'm sitting on the board with Glenn Sanford, the founder of our company, and Jason Gessing, the CEO of the real estate division or company. And then these other gentlemen that are successful in their own rights outside of the company. It's just, it's an honor. It's an honor.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
When are we signing your autographs?
Later, maybe. I'm waiting for my fountain pen to be delivered.
Yes, of course.
Sign it in calligraphy. That's fancy.
It is
fancy.
If
you're watching us on YouTube, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube page so that you can be notified when we put out another episode.
Yep. Ring that bell, baby.
Today, Jen and we're going to duke it out over this. I don't know if we're going to duke as much as, I think we might maybe argue some points underneath these points, but today we're going to duke it out over this. What numbers are most important to track your business? What numbers should agents be tracking in their business? And I'm not sure there's a huge discrepancy here in the thought, but I think there's probably a discrepancy in which one is most important and how you go about sort of.
No, there's not.
Package. Okay.
Just because you're the czarina doesn't mean you get to mandate shit. Look,
I need my gavel. I need a gavel.
You do need a gavel. No, I think the first thing is recognizing you actually have a business. This is a business. Business.
Yes.
I don't care if you're full-time, you're part-time, whatever, it is a business. You are doing it to generate income, correct? Does anybody work for other reasons?
Not very often. And in the eyes of the IRS, you're a 1099 independent contractor. That means you are a business owner. You legitimately run a business. Yes. And if you're not treating it like that, it may be why you're flailing.
Well, and I think a lot of people too, they'll get distracted and think that they're busy, but they're not really busy on the important things. And so knowing these numbers, and they are the number of contacts. So to you, let me go. So contacts, appointments, contracts, and then your gross commission income, I think are the 4. Do you agree?
I agree. I think there's some discrepancy in the word contact. So let's talk about the first one, contacts.
It's a contact.
Do we mean a dial or
a contact?
Well, define it.
It's a like a voice to voice or like a response. It can be like a response to a text. It can be, it has to have like a two-way street is a contact.
So it's really a conversation, and it can be done on through different mediums.
It depends. Yeah. So sometimes the conversation is F off, take me off your list. I mean, okay.
And that's a conversation. Like,
To
hey,
me-
do you want to buy a house? And they say, leave me the F alone. That you count that as a contact.
I count it. And I'm like,
Okay.
no problem. I mean, it depends, right? If they hang up on you right away, or if you can get another question in, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a contact. It's not a dial. Oh my God, never stop. If anybody stop tracking dials, if you're cold calling, you will make yourself insane because you'll have 400
Right.
dials and 3 contacts.
Right. And that'll be
And
frustrating.
it
as
doesn't
hell.
matter because you'll think like, oh, I dialed 400 numbers, but if you didn't get a hold of anybody, it doesn't matter. It's like working on your business plan doesn't matter if you have no customers. Designing your business card doesn't matter if there's nobody that's using them.
Okay. So right now, what we're talking about is designing the measuring tool for inside your lead generation time, right? So some
No,
people
it's for
measure
your
it
business
for like,
overall.
but it's lead gen is what contacts are, conversations,
right.
It's
Right.
that activity. So a lot of people say, oh, I lead gen for an hour or 2 a day. So what do you think about that? Where it's just a time commitment
I still think
versus
you need
I want to have 4
to-
conversations.
Yeah, I think you need to track it, right? And I think we actually agree on this. We disagree on how to lead generate, but we agree that there needs to be time set aside to generate leads. I think 2 hours a day for most agents will yield the results as long as during that 2 hours, they are literally making contacts. Like you
Doing
still have
nothing
to
else.
track the contacts, and it has to be like, you're looking at like a minimum of like 100 a week, depending on your goals. So that's like 20 a day for 5 days. That's
Mhm.
it. Most people can get to their goals based on that.
So is it okay in your mind if I make 20 calls and I happen to catch everybody and I'm done in an hour, even though I had set aside 2 hours?
I mean, I think that's dumb, but you can do it.
You think the 2 hours is more important than the 20?
No, I think they're both important. So I think if you've managed to get 20 contacts in an hour, which I don't know how you do that, that's a lot.
Right, of course.
But if you
yeah.
do that, why wouldn't you continue to go on? How many appointments did you set out of those 20 contacts? I mean, the measurement is you need to track the money, right? So like, okay, you made the contacts, but like you could have contactitis, which you make a ton of contacts, but there's no results. Now I know what your problem is, right? Like whatever you're saying is dumb. It's not working.
Yeah, it's not working might be a better way to say that.
Oh, sorry.
Dumb.
People don't listen to this because we're PC, but like, yeah. Okay. So I think if you have a number of contacts, you've made it, you haven't set an appointment. The goal is to set an appointment when you're generating leads, no matter how you do it. If you're doing it on Facebook, if you're doing whatever, however you do it, the goal is to generate an appointment. Once you have an appointment, now it's to generate a contract. Once you have a contract, it's sell that shit.
Right. And get the monies.
That's it. So wherever there's a break, if you can track those 4 numbers, wherever there's a breakdown and you're not getting the results that you want, we can specifically know what the issue is. If you do not track those numbers, I have no idea where your problem is. If your problem is you're not tracking.
Let's say that I'm getting started or I'm recommitting. Maybe I've been an agent for a couple of years and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to track these numbers. I'm going to figure out what my ratios are, where my weaknesses are, what's working, what's not, all that. I'm in.
The only reason you're not currently doing, not you, because you do it, but the only reason you're not currently doing it is because you're embarrassed at your results.
Okay. But let's say I'm starting. How long do I need to do this before you'd be able to look at my numbers and tell me what's happening or what's not happening?
I think, what do you think?
I think a good 45 days, like 30 to 45 days.
I was going to say 30. Yeah.
And this is the problem because people will do it for a couple of days, have no success and say it doesn't work or I'm no good at it. And
well, that's the same. They called one FISBO one time and a first sale by owner was like,
I can't do it.
Yeah. Annoying.
It's the same with open houses. Open houses don't work to me. I literally had somebody say this. open houses just don't work for me. I said, well, how many have you done in the last 30 days? One. You cannot, I'm about to drop an F-bomb. Fucking tell me that doesn't work if you've done one. Stop
the madness.
God, you guys know, this too. That's not true. Stop telling yourselves things like that. It's hurting you.
Yeah. To that point, I would argue if you don't want to do open houses, there's a lot of ways to succeed in real estate and you just choose a different way. But if you are going to do them, there's like the 7th level of open houses, and we have that in our vault.
Well, the point is you've got to choose something. You've got to give it a chance to work.
Yes, you do.
You've got to. I don't care what you're choosing. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. You got to give me evidence. I need to collect evidence that says, oh, this is how many conversations I usually take to get an appointment. And this is how many appointments it takes for me to actually close to a contract. Right.
But if you don't have, like, let's say you do your 2 hours and you're not getting the results that you want, that probably means you're not going on appointments. So you should generate more leads.
Well, I guess if what you mean is you've got to do that for 30 to 45 days to be able to judge that. Though you can't say I called today and got nothing, because you're going to have days where you call and get nothing.
There is going to be days like that. Right. But if you have nothing and you're still working, you're still like clocked in, as they say, then generate more leads. Don't mess around with your business card logo or whatever.
Correct. Correct. I
feel like we're ranting.
Yeah, well, we are. But the secret is this commitment to the process so that you gather the facts.
Yeah.
You guys, the typical agent won't gather enough data to know what's real. And if I could magically tell you that 20 conversations a day leads to the exact gross commission that you want to make in a year, and you knew that beyond a shadow of a doubt,
would you do it?
You'd be able to have full control of everything you want in your money. You turn it up, you turn it down, whatever. But you don't.
I mean, that's the benefit of tracking, because you can turn it, you can pump the brakes or pump the gas or like whatever, right? Because you know exactly how many conversations it takes to get what you want. And then it's exciting. Exactly. Then it literally pulls you into making the contacts. Like you literally have no other choice, but however you make contacts to do the work, because you're excited about the result. But if you don't track, what'll happen is, I don't remember this like old adage, but it's like somebody's like digging and they're like 2 inches away from the gold, but they stop digging because they're tired. But if they knew they were 2 inches from the gold, like if you knew you just had to make one more contact and you would get an appointment, you would make it.
Yeah. I think Ed Milet, the thought leader that I follow, has a book coming out called something like One More or something. And it's literally that idea. It's one more.
But I also think focusing on the goal, right? The purpose of the lead generation time, the purpose is to set the appointment. There's so many agents that I talk to that are trying to sell. You are not selling. You are setting the appointment, because once you set the appointment, you have a process to qualify those buyers or sellers of that appointment, to pre-qualify them before you meet. But you're trying to do it too much.
That's right. Just focus, get in the house.
Get in. Yep. Well, or set the appointment. Shit. I do a lot of stuff. Try not to go.
I know. But I just mean like, that's the goal, is to get them to say 4:00 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you think it's time for a little break?
Yeah. And when we come back, I have a new thought for agents around this, like a new mindset around this, maybe.
Oh, my coach Monica imparts some wisdom. The new Czarina.
Stop.
It's awesome.
We're not doing that.
I'm changing my Instagram to, instead of Czarina of real estate adjacent, Czarina adjacent to real estate.
You can just be the co-Czarina.
Co-Czar.
Like we're co-hosts.
Assistant to the Czarina.
That's right.
All right, let's have a word from our favorite partners. And when we return, we'll get some wisdom.
Welcome back. Let's get back to the battle inside of the ring. Jen and I feel like we're battling the world together today.
Look at us. Do we have matching outfits?
I don't know.
We should.
Oh, we could. Well, we could wear our t-shirts, our Fight Club t-shirts.
Our Fight Club t-shirts, yes.
Hashtag fight me.
Hashtag.
Okay. Okay. Over the break, here's what I was talking about, coming back for a new mindset around this.
Okay.
If you are starting out and you're not somebody that's been consistent with your activities, whatever they may be, instead of charging into this and just trying to find success with appointments and contracts, I want you to think of this as the experiment for 30 days to find out your numbers. Don't like detach from the outcome. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
Okay.
So the success now doesn't have anything to do with, the appointment or the money. I understand it does technically, but I'm saying, I think this is the mindset that will get agents to understand they've got to collect the data first. So they've got to do it long enough to collect the data. So what are your numbers? If Jen and I were to call you in 30 days and say, hey, random real estate Fight Club question survey, what are your numbers? You should be able to say, for every 50 contacts, I get one appointment. For every 4 appointments, I get one contract. And right now I'm closing everything I take.
Yeah.
You should be able to know that.
Right.
When you know that, guys, geez, it's
awesome.
You are not only at the top of the heap in this business, like from a business acumen standpoint, but I bet you'll be in the top 10% of earners, because when you know that, then you have the answers.
Exactly. And I have had some people that get nervous that they might get too much business if they actually work, right? Well, people get nervous about that because they're like, I can't handle the business or blah, 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 whatever, right?
Yeah, right.
Refer it. Still get paid.
Take 25%. It's the best money.
Don't listen to Monica. Take 40.
No, you have to be fair.
That's another podcast. How much should you charge for a referral? What the hell is wrong with you? There's some we do 50-50.
Greed will get you nowhere.
It's not greed. We're helping them. And there's some that we only do like 10%. Okay.
Let's discuss later.
We're going to fight.
No, we're not going to fight right now.
Not now, later.
No, we're already through this
Anyway,
fighting.
The point is once you know how to generate the leads, you are in control. This is the only way that I was able and am still able to travel and still get paid. I literally just got back from Colombia. We are literally going to have our best month ever. In real estate.
Yes.
Ever.
Congrats.
In real estate, just on commissions. We're referring a ton out. Like the only reason is because I know how to generate leads. That's it.
Boom. So my argument is not any one of those things is not important. It's not the contacts over the appointments. It's not the appointments over the contracts. It's not the contracts over the sales. What's important is that you know your ratios. That's the number.
Okay.
Is 20 to this, to this, to this, or whatever. That's my argument. What?
I guess
you got to know it. You've got to know it. And you've got to know it, not from a week of work, not from 10 days of work.
No.
You got it. Ideally, freaking 3 months,
Ideally, but let's do a month, right?
Let's just do a month.
I think we used to do regularly, like I used to do 1,000 contacts a month regularly. Man.
And what would that lead to?
That led us in the top 1.5% of real estate agents in the country. And it doesn't take as long as people think. If you're focused, people get distracted.
Because you do, I don't do the kind of cold calling contact measurement like you do. Right now, is it different than it was 3 years ago, or that it might be next year as far as contacts?
Yeah, it's a little different, right? So we're adding in a lot more text messaging, and texting is like pretty easy because like our CRM system, we use KV Core at EXP. And I think a lot of other agencies use KV Core. They have like a texting thing that you can use, and people respond to that, and you can set up campaigns. So it's like really easy to be consistent with the text. And then you also do the calls. And so like people respond because I don't know if I'm annoying them, but they respond. We're certainly getting a lot of deals. So
that's your job. Top of mind awareness. You certainly are. If you're annoying them, you're top of mind. It's good.
No, none of them. People are weird, but some aren't. Here we are.
Right. Well, you've got to annoy people to get to the no or the yes. Like,
I don't think
all you're
it's
doing is trying to force the yes or the no, right?
like off the fence. Yeah. And I mean, it's fine.
Off the fence. Yeah.
The thing is like in those weeds of people that are upset, there's a lot of people that are grateful. So it's
Mhm.
like that overrides any upsetness.
Mhm.
And I think people that get upset, they're upset anyway.
They're not upset with you.
That's not me. Here's what my mom used to say, the great Becky Sharon.
What?
Look, if you're going to cry, I'm going to give you something to cry about. I'm like, okay, Becky. Dang.
My mom used to say that too. And then she would say, you're going to pick yourself up in the middle of next week.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's brutal. She added a threat, like an extra threat.
The threat of the black snake whip in the attic. That's what we heard about. The black snake whip in the attic.
What the hell is that?
It didn't exist, but we were sure terrified as hell of it.
Oh my God.
And believe me, my parents never once hit me ever. So it's just funny.
If you are listening and you had your parents threaten you, we will send you some Real Estate Fight Club swag.
Yes, we feel for you.
We feel for you. And if they referenced a black snake in the attic, we will send you
a black snake whip. The whip. Not just a black snake.
Is he dead or alive? Like, did he bite you also?
It's not a snake. It's called a snake whip. Like the whip, like one of those long.
It's like a BDSM whip.
Yes, I guess. Yes,
Your
and
parents
it was called
are freaky.
Yeah, that was mad. They're mad.
If you have freaky parents, please message
Yeah,
us.
right.
We will send you some swag.
Right. I'm here with our tiebreaker, Matt Plumer. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Jennifer.
Thanks for being on. So you are not only a real estate agent, but you're also a financial coach and help people get out of debt, build their wealth. Like, I love everything that you do. So I'm glad that you're on for this topic. So your topic is about tracking. What numbers do you need to track for your business? And Monica and I talked more about like appointments and contacts, but if you want to talk to us about like the business side of it in order to like grow your business financially and grow your wealth, what are you seeing that people need to track that they're missing?
Well, the first thing they need to track, Jennifer, and where they don't know, and this is how it ties into what you and Monica have talked about in the past, is actually the money that happens at home, right? Because that's where it all starts. I mean, we're not selling real estate just so we can go sell more real estate.
Right. Or for free.
Right.
Not just
right. Yeah. We're not selling real estate just to go sell real estate. We're selling real estate so it generates income to support our families. And so we hit our family goals, right? That's why we do it.
Yeah.
So everyone that starts their process with like, hey, I want to go sell X amount of houses, they've already starting in the wrong spot.
Okay.
And so every time that when I work with a coaching client or have a conversation with a real estate agent, it always starts at home. Because there's three things after thousands of conversations that real estate agents that are true in the real estate agent space for the majority is that agents don't make as much as they think. We all spend more than we care to admit. That's
like an American thing.
Which forces us to be behind on taxes and or retirement. Right. And so the two things that stress agents out the most, give them the most stress and anxiety, is inconsistent income and financial disorganization. And I help them solve both.
Yeah.
So when we start of like, hey, I'm going to start this real estate business, or I'm already in real estate, always start at home. And how much does the life that you have today, bare necessities, what's that number? What's the number that you have today?
Right.
And then what's the number that you want?
But isn't the consistency?
Those are three considerably different numbers.
Yeah, for sure. But I would think that the rub for most agents, especially ones that most agents are inconsistent, right? So isn't that kind of like the rub? They're like, well, how do I know what I have? Because it's like up and down, blah, 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 blah.
Well, it's not what the income's irrelevant. It's what your life already costs, right? It's already your obligations. right? And what forces agents to stick on this transaction treadmill that we're all in the space of coaching, learning, and developing is trying to get them off, is that all of their income that they're making goes towards obligations, not towards opportunities.
Right.
And all of that is at home, right? It's not the Zillow and the Realtor.com and the coaching and the brokerage fees. It's the car payments, the student loan payments, the Parent Plus payments, the money that they owe the government that's forcing them to go sell more real estate.
Yeah. And so if you're just operating like that way, like you had said in the beginning, like you just can't get ahead. You're always behind.
Always behind, and you'll never catch up. There are not enough houses. You're literally eating from a buffet line with a bottomless plate. Like you'll never sell enough real estate.
Right. So what do you think, like, is the first step like kind of a mind shift, a mindset change, or?
Yeah. So once we figure out, it's like, hey, what's the real number at home? And let's call it $10,000.
Okay.
Like we got a $2,500 mortgage. We got 2 kids. We got a husband and a wife. We got car payments. We got student loan payments. We owe the government money. Then that's unfortunately called normal in the world of real estate. That's just the facts of life.
Right.
And life costs $10,000.
Right.
Well, so how much GCI, how much real estate do we have to sell to fund or serve or just stabilize a $10,000 a month lifestyle? And agents think it's $10,000.
No, wrong.
At best, it's 20 grand.
Yeah, I was thinking 30, but yeah, okay.
At best, right? Because the best that agents earn are 50 to 60 cents on the dollar. So now when you know that you have to make, just to cover the bare necessities, $20,000 of GCI a month after brokerage split or after team split or after brokerage and team split. Now you can identify as like, okay, I make $6,000 a house. That's at least 3 closings a month.
Right. That's at least, yeah, more.
Hold on.
Yeah.
3 closings a month just to break even. That doesn't even get you ahead.
Right.
Right? Because then you want the life that you want to live. Well, the life that you want to live is travel, and the life that you want to live is retirement, and the life you want to live is more giving. Right. So now it's $15,000 a month.
Right.
So now it's 30.
Right.
Now it's 5 houses.
Right.
Right. So now you actually have a path of money that says, okay, hey, if this is the reality, there's 3 steps to a transformation: awareness, decision, intentionality. Any transformation, financial, physical, relational, anything, right? So now you're on that business side, on the personal side. Where can I eliminate $2,000 to $3,000 a month, just so when I go sell 3 houses, I actually get to keep more money?
Right. Exactly.
Right. So we're doing all this work. We're chasing all these buyers and sellers.
For what?
We're doing all these calls.
Right.
For what? I mean, you literally just stay there. And real estate agents, unfortunately, if they don't get this path of money right, unfortunately, we're stuck, and they're just going to take listings on the way to their funeral. Like it's just, there's like no way around it.
Yeah, there's like a joke, and it's not really funny, but it feels very true. It's like most agents think like that they're going to die showing a house. Like they'll die on the doorstep of the house, or like when after spending 20 or 30 years building your business, they just stop doing it. It's not saleable. It's not. And it's like, what were you doing? And you have nothing to show for it. Like, what the hell were you working for?
And most agents are just doing it to survive.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, 6 to 8 houses a year, $60,000 to $1,000 a year gross. Well, we just did the math. That's $30,000 net after taxes and expenses at best.
Right.
Right. So now when you get this and you get this clarity, right? The awareness, now you can make a decision on, hey, it starts at the top. what brokerage or what people or what team or whoever can I align myself with or coach that says, hey, we're going to help you go do this. We're going to help you develop this plan. We're going to give you the clarity. We're going to give you the engine to power your boat. Most agents are in a rowboat with 2 oars.
Yeah. That's
no
it.
engine.
No engine. Maybe the oar probably got sucked up by the riptide.
And I don't care what brokerage that's with or what team that's on. Most agents are in a rowboat with 2 oars. And it's up to them to get to the other side. Right. Or it's at least up to them to get back to dock to get to a different boat that has a different engine. Right. So I think it's so important to know our numbers with the money, because at the end of the day, compensation drives behavior. And if we have a clear path of what we want in life with money, it'll allow us to build the business that we want to serve that life.
No, I agree. And a lot of, people will say like, I don't, I'm not like money motivated or whatever. And that's okay. Like, you don't have to be, because what you are motivated is, like you had said before, you're motivated by providing your family the life that you envision to provide them. And what that takes is, like you said, it takes the awareness first. Like, what is actually real? Like, your gross commission income is not real actualized income to you in your pocket. So let's talk about net, if people, so you do, share with us like how we can get into your world, because I think like everything you're speaking to, it's like, oh shit, like, yeah, right. I gotta like get this worked out.
Every person I have a conversation with laughs or snickers or whatever, right? Yeah.
Or cries.
At the end of the day,
I feel like you make people cry. Yeah.
I don't make people cry. Their reaction to what I say, or when it actually goes from their head to their heart, that's what makes them, when the reality, right? When that awareness kicks in, that's when the breakdown happens. And you can literally see it happening on camera. It's one of the best gifts. It's not fun, but I know that there's opportunity for that person when that emotion comes. The best way to connect with me is on social. Coach Matt Plumer, Instagram, Matt Plumer on Facebook. I do have an ebook, The 5 Financial Mistakes That Agents Make and How to Avoid Them. The website is the number 5 financialmistakes.com. Free downloadable ebook. It's about a 20-25 page read, quick, easy. That'll also get you into, that'll get you on my email list. That'll get you on the budget hacking Facebook group, where we talk about the reality of finances with real estate agents.
Awesome. Well, this is a great conversation. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being on.
I think that's going to have to be the end of today's battle. I hope you guys got something out of this. And I hope if you want to take on this challenge of finding your numbers, do us a favor and report in. Give us 30 days. Let us know. Jen and I will feature you on the podcast. We'll talk about your numbers. Like, we want to know. We want to know what's real.
And if you're already doing it, tell us. Boom.
Yeah. What are your numbers? Go to our Facebook page or wherever you connect with us and
Instagram,
let us know what you're
TikTok. Send me a text. But Monica and I are also looking to grow our EXP team. If you have an interest in learning more about EXP and how it's helped us, how it can help you, give me a call or text at 513-400-1691. All right.
And we can help them with their numbers.
Boom, boom. Get it.
Yeah.
What we need right now is a source for great leads. And I found it. It is called Pipeline Pro Tools. So about 90 days ago, I booked a demo with them. And in that demo, we reverse engineered my business. We figured out how many leads we needed to get in order to get to the closings that we want. And they gave me a playbook to use in order to get that. So I've been using it for 90 days. We've gotten 12 qualified leads, and about half of them are already under contract or closed, which is great.
And it is right now my #1 source for my best leads that I'm getting. I love this thing. I'm about to ramp up the number of leads that I get with them as well. So, and you might think it's expensive, and it's not. So I was looking for something that's very inexpensive, like affordable to everyone, but also generated great leads. We don't want crap leads. So what you do in order to get this, because I called them and I wanted to partner with them because I was like, this is exactly what our audience has been looking for. So they set up something specific just for us, just for Fight Club listeners. So you would go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club. And then you go to the demo, and the demo will show you how many leads you need in order to get the number of closings that you want to get. And then they will give you the playbook that I'm using, my #1 playbook for getting leads. And then you can use it too, and we can have happy closings. So go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club, book and go to the demo and get all the leads.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a podcast.